Hey everyone, this is Kevin, your entrepreneur. Welcome to my vlog/media channel. And today we're going to talk about, Justice League. And here's the thing. I'm probably not the first person you've come to read this news. In fact, I can guarantee you there are other YouTube channels that you have probably gotten this news item from first. However, I think my take is going to be a little bit unique. Now, a little bit of history for those of you who don't know what we're talking about. We are talking about the mystical Justice League, the Snyder Cut. What is the Snyder Cut? Well, the Snyder Cut is a version of Justice League that we did not see in theaters. Director Zack Snyder had a vision, or at least he claims he had a vision. I personally didn't like any of the Zack Snyder directed DC films, but whatever. He had a vision for Justice League, and he was filming the movie the way he had envisioned it. Now then, he ended up getting fired from the movie. At the time, it was reported that he was stepping down because there was a family tragedy. That turned out to not be true. He was essentially fired by Warner Brothers, and Joss Whedon was coming to fix what the studio executives felt was a very unwatchable film. Now, when the movie came out, people noticed strange things. They noticed scenes that were in trailers were not in the movie. They could tell that scenes with Superman had been reshot because he had a mustache that he had grown for Mission Impossible 6, that he was legally, not legally, but contractually obligated not to shave. So they kind of painted over it, and it looked really, really funky. And the movie was brought in under 2 hours, and the movie was pretty bad, in my opinion. I mean, I own it because, of course I do, but it was not a very good movie, and people were wondering, what would Zack Snyder's version have looked like? And they have been pestering Warner Brothers. Some would say bullying. I kind of disagree a little, but, they've been pestering Warner Brothers for years. Where is the Snyder Cut? We want to see the Snyder Cut. Now, the thing holding up the Snyder Cut is that the Snyder Cut was not finished. Yeah, I think most of the key scenes were filmed. A couple more might have needed to be filmed, but there was like $20 million worth of special effects and stuff that still need to be done. So it wasn't finished. And that's why, that was one of the reasons that, hey, it was just never a go. They weren't going to release it, and plus they were taking the DC Extended Universe into a different direction. So it just wasn't going to happen. But demand kept up. Even some of the actors started tweeting out the hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Well, people are getting their wish because the Justice League, the Snyder Cut, is coming to HBO Max this year. As you can see from this wonderful blog, yourcomicbookguy.com, which, spoiler folks, this is my blog. So hey, if you want to read my random thoughts on comics and comic book movies and stuff like that, be sure to check out this blog and bookmark it. Or you can follow me on Twitter because I share almost all the posts there. And as you can see, there's a little picture. This is an official picture. I got it from the Twitter account of HBO Max that Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming. It's interesting. They're calling it Zack Snyder's Justice League. And it's coming to HBO Max in 2021. Now, we don't know 100% what this is going to look like. We don't know if this is going to be like a rough cut of the film, like it's just going to be released as is, warts and all. It's technically not finished, but now you can see where they were kind of going with it, or if they're going to spend the extra $20 million to finish it. I'm going to share what I think they're going to do, and then I'm going to share my personal thoughts, which I've actually written out, but, since it's my blog, I'm not stealing it. But anyway, that's a joke, by the way. So here's the thing. I suspect, very strongly in fact, that this movie will be finished. I suspect Warner Media will pony up the money to finish it. And here's why. They've definitely got the money to do it. Justice League, even though it was a financial disappointment, did make a profit. And this is something that would definitely get people to sign up for HBO Max. In fact, so many people will sign up for it just to watch this Snyder Cut, if you will, that they could easily justify the $20 million. Because at that point, HBO Max would have something that other streaming services do not. They would have a $200 million plus potentially superhero movie exclusive to a streaming service. There actually is a monetary value that, hey, if we spend this much money, we could potentially make this much back, which is rare for streaming movies. Most of the time with streaming movies, you can't necessarily measure the value of that movie in dollars and cents. This time you can. Here's the other thing. It comes a year later. A lot of people sign up for HBO Max at the beginning because, it's new, it's exciting. But after a year, you need new stuff to get people to come in. This would definitely draw a lot of people in. It'd be a much needed boost. And it gets people locked into the HBO Max ecosystem streaming service. Maybe after they watch Justice League, they've got it for a month. Let's look around, let's see what else they've got. And maybe they decide to cancel Netflix in favor of HBO Max. It's very, very savvy. This was a really good idea from a marketing perspective. Now then, am I excited to see it? Let me put it this way. I'm interested in seeing it. I'm not excited. Here's the thing. As mentioned before in this video, I don't think any of Zack Snyder's DC films have been good. Frankly, I don't think I've liked anything the man's directed since 300. No, I did like Watchmen. I take it back. I did like Watchmen. And I had some affection for that owl movie he made, Guardians of Gahul or something, whatever like that. I have an appreciation for that. But I didn't like Sucker Punch, and I did not like Man of Steel. I did not like Batman v Superman. I did not like Justice League, although I acknowledge that the Justice League, as currently seen, and I don't know why Steam is popping up at that point, but the Justice League that was seen in theaters at that particular time was, in fact, Joss Whedon's version. He didn't direct enough of it to get a directing credit, but I do know he changed quite a bit. Here's the thing. I totally believe Warner Brothers when they say that this movie was not watchable. I don't think Justice League under Zack Snyder's care is going to be a much better movie. In fact, I'm fully anticipating it's going to be a worse film. I totally think it's going to be worse. And yet, there's a part of me that's curious, well, how is it different? How is it different? Is it worse? If so, by how much? It might actually be better. You never know. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, kind of how like you read about the history of the making of the movie and how that movie changed over time. And you kind of wonder like, well, I liked that movie or I didn't like that movie. I kind of wonder what would the other version have been like? Well, this is one of the rare cases we're going to get a chance to see what the other version was going to look like. And I think that's fascinating. So from a film history perspective, this is a great release. I'm fully anticipating it to be terrible, though, and I have not been hashtagging release the Snyder Cut for that real reason. I don't think it's going to be much better. But as a film fan, this could be very, very fascinating. I think it also puts Warner Brothers in a very interesting position because they essentially have a way to pilot. We don't know what the future of their DC universe is. We know that they kind of took a break from the whole extended universe thing. Aquaman was kind of connected, but for the most part, it was a standalone movie. Shazam had a cameo appearance by Superman, but it was otherwise its own movie. And I'm hearing Wonder Woman 84 and the original Wonder Woman were also very much their own movies. So there is, and then of course you have the Joker, which is on the side. So really, Warner Brothers has no DC extended universe. But if the Snyder Cut ends up being a significantly better movie and has elements in there that people would like to see more of, they could, in a sense, do a little bit of a swap. Like, okay, Zack Snyder's Justice League is the real Justice League, and when we go back to that extended universe, we will be including elements from that. So this is going to be very fascinating to watch, just from a marketing and film historian perspective. However, again, I don't know what happens if the movie ends up being bad, like I suspect it's going to be, and then you have two bad Justice League movies out there, which are kind of the same thing, but kind of not. It's very, very complicated. But anyway, that's where we're going to leave this story. Now, my question to you is, what do you think? Do you think this is going to be fun? Are you excited about this? Are you not excited about this? I would love to know. Comment below. Type 321 to let me know you got to the end. Comment, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.